The silent discipline behind extraordinary results. Let me tell you something that took me years to understand and even longer to accept. Extraordinary results are never loud. They don't announce themselves. They don't arrive with applause, fireworks, or sudden miracles. They come quietly, almost shyly, built by discipline so small and consistent that most people overlook them completely. And that is exactly why most people never experience extraordinary results. They are too busy looking for dramatic changes while ignoring the silent disciplines that actually shape a remarkable life. I remember meeting a man years ago who fascinated me. He was not flashy. He didn't speak loudly. He didn't brag about his accomplishments. In fact, if you passed him on the street, you would never guess that he had built a thriving business, raised a strong family, and lived a life of deep fulfillment. One afternoon, I finally asked him, "What's your secret?" He smiled and said something I'll never forget. He said, "Nothing big, just a few small things done every day for a very long time." That answer disappointed me at first because I was hoping for a shortcut, a clever trick, or a powerful strategy. But over time, I realized he had handed me the truth most people never want to hear. You see, success is not built in moments of motivation. It is built in moments of discipline. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Discipline is what shows up even when the weather is bad. Discipline is what gets up early when no one is watching. Discipline is what reads the book when television is calling. Discipline is what practices when quitting would feel easier. And the most important thing about discipline is this: it is silent. No one claps for it. No one gives you recognition for it. No one even knows you are doing it. And that is exactly why it works. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they underestimate the power of daily decisions. They think life is shaped by big breakthroughs, but life is actually shaped by the direction you lean every single day. Lean slightly toward comfort, and over time you drift into regret. Lean slightly toward discipline, and over time you drift into excellence. The drift is subtle, but the destination is dramatic. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people who start in the same place, same background, same education, same resources. One of them decides to improve just a little each day. 10 minutes of reading, a short walk for health, a small effort to learn something new. The other decides those small things don't matter. They skip the reading, postpone the exercise, delay the learning. After one day, there is no visible difference. After 1 week, still nothing obvious. After 1 year, the gap begins to show. After 5 years, the difference is impossible to ignore. One wonders how life turned out so well. The other wonders where it all went wrong. The answer was hidden in silent disciplines practiced or ignored long before the results appeared. That's the part people don't like. Discipline doesn't give immediate rewards. It promises future results, and future results require patience. We live in a world that wants everything now, fast and easy. But nature doesn't work that way. The farmer doesn't plant seeds in the morning and harvest in the evening. He prepares the soil, plants the seeds, waters them daily, protects them from weeds, and waits. The miracle happens quietly underground long before it ever shows up above ground. And when harvest season arrives, it looks like magic to those who weren't willing to wait. Extraordinary results are grown the same way. They are invisible before they are undeniable. They are built in private before they are rewarded in public. That is why discipline must come before confidence. You don't wait until you feel confident to act. You act with discipline until confidence becomes the natural result. Confidence is not something you talk yourself into. It is something you earn through repeated promises kept to yourself. I've seen people ruin great potential because they wanted recognition before results. They wanted applause before effort. They wanted rewards before responsibility. But life doesn't work on wishes. It works on laws. And one of the great laws of life is that you will always reap what you sow, later than you expect, and in greater measure than you imagine. Discipline is sowing when you don't feel like it, trusting a harvest you cannot yet see. There is a quiet power that comes from doing what needs to be done, even when no one is watching. It builds self-respect. It builds inner strength. It builds a kind of confidence that cannot be shaken by criticism or failure. Because when you know you've done the work, you don't need validation. You don't need excuses. You don't need to explain yourself. You simply keep going. Let me tell you something else that discipline teaches you. It teaches you that you don't have to be extreme. You just have to be consistent. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You need to improve one habit, one choice, one decision at a time. Small disciplines repeated daily become massive achievements over time. Small neglects repeated daily become massive regrets over time. The difference between the two is rarely dramatic in the beginning, but it becomes dramatic in the end. People often ask, how do I stay disciplined? And the answer is simpler than they expect. You don't wait to feel disciplined. You create routines that make discipline automatic. You decide in advance what you will do, and then you do it whether you feel like it or not. Feelings are unreliable advisors. They change with mood, energy, and circumstance. Discipline is a commitment that outlives feelings. Understand this clearly. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. It is saying, my future matters enough to do the hard thing today. It is choosing growth over comfort, purpose over pleasure, and long-term fulfillment over short-term relief. And the beautiful part is that once discipline becomes part of who you are, it stops feeling heavy. It becomes freedom. Freedom from regret, freedom from excuses, freedom from the pain of knowing you could have done more. Extraordinary people are not extraordinary because they do extraordinary things once in a while. They are extraordinary because they do ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. They show up when it's boring, they practice when it's repetitive, they prepare when it's inconvenient, and one day the world calls them lucky without realizing luck was simply discipline in disguise. If there is one thing I want you to take from this, it is this. Don't wait for a dramatic moment to change your life. Change your daily habits and the dramatic moments will come on their own. Decide today to practice one silent discipline. Read when others scroll, learn when others complain, improve when others excuse. Those small, quiet choices will shape a future that speaks louder than any words ever could. One day, someone will look at your life and ask, how did you achieve such extraordinary results? And you will smile because you will know the truth. It wasn't luck. It wasn't talent alone. It wasn't a sudden breakthrough. It was the silent discipline you practiced when no one was watching, the choices you made when quitting was easier, and the patience you had when results took time to arrive. Extraordinary results are not created by loud intentions, but by quiet discipline practiced daily. What you do consistently in silence will eventually speak for you in success.